Hey everyone, Bear here. So, summer right around the corner. Everybody wants to go out and go hiking. So how do you avoid the heat? It's so hot in Texas. How do you avoid it? You really can't. Best thing to do is just prepare to hike in the heat. We'll talk about that next. One of my first videos was on the 5 essentials of hiking. I'll put a link to that up here in the top. Yeah, right there. Check it out. So it's one of the first things you want to do to get prepared to hike in the heat. Hydrate. I carry 2 liters of water with me at all times. Don't drink too much, but definitely drink enough to keep you hydrated, keep you well going. The other thing is, if you're sweating a lot out in the heat, you're going to lose a lot more than just water. So the best thing to do there is also carry like maybe a Gatorade or a Powerade or something like that, something that can replenish your salt content. Kind of mix it up a little bit. Maybe drink some water, then drink a Gatorade or a Powerade, something like that. Is remember to hike at a certain time. You definitely don't want to go hiking when it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon or around lunchtime. You want to kind of skip the hours between 12 and 3, maybe 3:30 or so. The sun's at its peak. It's going to get the ground as hot as it possibly can. It's going to get the air really hot. Try to get morning hikes in, and if you can, maybe hike right before the sun goes down. Night hikes are always a lot of fun. Just make sure you carry the right headgear and the right headlamps and things like that. Always keep on the lookout for wildlife too. Wildlife knows just, as good as we do, it's better to hike at nighttime. It's better to stay out at nighttime. Another key factor to hiking in the heat is your clothing. Always try to wear breathable clothes, nylons, polyesters, things like that. I have pants on right now that can convert into shorts if I got too hot, but I like the covering just to avoid the heat. It's not a bad idea to cover up in the sun. You definitely don't want to have too much exposed body because too much sun you can get sunburns and it's just not really good. So try to avoid too much sun exposure. I sometimes will wear like a really loose fitting, breathable nylon long sleeve shirt. That really helps out with sun exposure and things like that. On my face and my head area, I usually put sunscreen. And if you're gonna use sunscreen, use like a 30 up to a 50 SPF. Try to wet this down a little bit, my buff. Keep it on the back of my neck, just to kind of keep the sun off me and just keep a little bit of coolness on my neck. I use sunscreen and lip balm when I go out on the hikes. Both my arms, my face, back of my head is all covered up, even though I put a buff on. And I try to reapply every 45 to maybe hour and a half, somewhere in there. Some clothing also is vented. So it has little vents built into it, like my pants have vents built into the pockets of them. You can open these vents up to get more airflow, to get more breathability in your clothes, your shirt, your whatever else you're wearing, things like that. If you do get to a spot where you realize that you're going to have to hike during a hot time of the day, it's probably a good idea to hike near a shaded area. Try to pick some shade if you can, and try to pick a water supply if you can get near one. I got pretty good shade in these trees right here, so I'll be all right for a little while. But I'll try to avoid pushing myself. And that's probably one of the most important things that you don't want to do, is you don't want to push yourself in a hot day. You know you're going to be hiking in direct sunlight. You definitely don't want to push yourself. If you don't think you can do this trip, be honest with yourself and just say, hey, I can't make this. Let's do something else, or let's plan this another time. Don't lie just to make your friends feel good or just to make yourself feel good that you can do what your buddies can do, because if you can't do it, you'll find out soon, and it ain't going to be fun. Best thing to do, just be honest with yourself if you're out hiking in the heat. Say, guys, I can't make it. Let's not do this. So the basics: stay hydrated, drink lots of water, carry lots of water, and if you need to, replenish electrolytes with like an energy drink, not like a Monster or anything like that, but say like a Gatorade or a Powerade or something along those lines. Wear the proper clothing. Wear clothes that are loose fitting, breathable, something that you can vent in if you need to, like an open sleeve or something like that. And if you have to, wear full arm coverings if you don't want to avoid any sun exposure. There's nothing wrong with that at all, and sometimes a little more cover even helps out better than just wearing sunscreen. But I always carry lip balm and sunscreen, no matter what. I use a water resistant SPF 50, works great. and I just reapply every 45 to an hour and a half, somewhere in there, depending on how sweaty I am or how bad it's going to be the situation. Also carry a towel. A small towel is perfect. Carry something like that. Just kind of damp off your face, get the sweat out of your eyes and stuff like that. Really helpful. Again, the Buff Works is a good towel, but I like to use it to keep it wet. Just keep it around my neck, keep me cool. If I have to, I'll even put it on my head just to keep my head cool. Head covering's another good thing. Always have a hat of some kind. I have a full brim hat that I wear if I'm not going to be in a shaded area, but a normal brimmed hat is always really good. And sunglasses help. My glasses are polarized, so kind of helps out a little bit. But I actually need them to see, so it's kind of difficult for me to wear sunglasses. Try to avoid hiking anywhere between lunch and say 3:30. Try to hike sometime after that. Maybe start an afternoon hike at around 4 or 5 o'clock. Get ready for the sunset. And really enjoy a night hike if you need to. Those are always a lot of fun. If you're not comfortable, if you don't feel like you can make the trip, if you don't feel like you're ready to do that, don't do it. Be honest with yourself, be honest with your friends, be honest with your other guys, the guys in the backpacking crew or the crew you're going hiking with or whatever. Be honest with them as well. Tell them, hey, I'm just not ready for this, guys. Can't make it. It's better to be safe than sorry. Just be safe. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Give me some comments down below if there's something I left out, something I need to bring up, something I need to talk about. I thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the trail.